growing up in Long Island with you and your sister and your brother, who, by the way, was literally the definition of the '80s bully, which we will get into a little bit later.
Yeah. Man, I had a great upbringing. I had great parents, super supportive, loving. They were at everything of mine, every sporting event, they were showing up. Grew up in like a diverse town. It was like in the area, people thought it was like pretty tough. I didn't think it was anything crazy. There's way worse, but I grew up. Oh snap! Can they hear anything?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I grew up, fighting a lot. Like you mentioned, my brother was big, strong. 3 years older, athletic. He was pretty much better than me at everything. He was smart too, but he would also put it on me. He could be mean.
Why?
He was scary.
Why do you think so?
Man, he was just a different character. Like as a friend, he was a great friend, very loyal, and he'd have your back to the death. He'd do anything for you. But for me, when it came down to like me getting beat up by other people, he would have my back. Like there's one story that comes to mind. It's funny we're talking about this now, but there was a bunch of these Crips. You got the Crips and the Bloods.
Yeah.
Well, where we're from, there was really only Crips. There was a couple other towns that had Bloods. And who knows what they really were. But at the end of the day, they considered themselves Crips, and they were messing with me. And I was basically like, you guys could beat me up, but why don't you come down to my house? My brother would beat you guys' asses.
Yeah.
And so because they're older, so I brought them to my house, and I'm like, I get inside, I'm like, Charlie, these kids are outside, they're trying to beat me up. And he was like, oh yeah? 1 second. He goes inside his room, he gets a bow and arrow. And he comes outside with a bow and arrow, this big white dude who doesn't give a crap. And these dudes just sprint in different directions, they're running
Bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow. He was a maniac. He's a great family man now. He's changed for the better, thank God. Because if he stayed on that path, he would have been either dead or in jail.
Really?
Yeah, he was crazy. So
that obviously toughened you up, though.
It toughened me up. All through wrestling, or if there was like street fights, I always just knew that they weren't my brother, so I was good. Like what he put me through there was nothing that they could do to make it worse than that.
When that was happening, though, like, what were your parents like? Did he hide it from your parents, or were they kind of like, Charlie, stop?
Yeah, this is a kid that first grade, he walks into his first grade class, and the teacher's introducing herself, and her name was Mrs. Berger, and so Charlie shakes her hand. My brother's name is Charlie. Shakes her hand, and she goes, "Hi, my name is Mrs. Berger," and he goes, "Burger," and bites her hand. Like he's just like chemically, his brain was on a different level, bro. Running away from school. My parents were, it was a tough. My parents were great parents, but he was a tough kid to parent. I seen the torment that he put them through. That's what kind of led me trying to go down the right path, because I hated to see my parents so upset and defeated all the time with what he was kind of putting them through.
When I had a big brother, my brother's Joe. He could be tough on me, but he was too busy like doing his own thing to worry about me. We were 12 years apart, though. How old are you guys?
3 years, 3 and sometimes 4 years.
So we were 12. And,
that's great. So he can't kill you that bad.
Well, when I would get threatened with fights, he never stopped it. One time I was going to get beat up, and I was going to go home. We live right across the street, and I thought I was going to get saved by him, but instead, he told them they couldn't jump me and made me fight. That was one of those things that happened a lot where I grew up at, and it backfired on my friend one time. He got his ass beat so bad, bro.
Really?
His mom made him keep fighting. It was so bad. And it's like, but at least you could go to your parents to escape Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Like my parents, but my dad was working a lot, and then my mom started working as we got older. So, they weren't around as much. I could go and tell, but he was going to beat my ass for telling. So, but yeah, he did the same thing. I would have to fight his friends, and their friends were always, bigger and stronger, and they beat my ass, but I had to stand my ground. And I had this thing. I used to sing Denver the Last Dinosaur. Denver the Last Dinosaur. And I would go into fights like that. And I thought I was invincible.
Chris.
The only person it didn't work against Charlie. Because I would start singing it, and I'd act like I'm psycho, and I'm coming at him, and then he would call me out. He would call my bluff.
I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to laugh at this.
I
Bro.
should have walked out to that. Too.
Bro, Chris.
Yeah, I would have never lost.
CJ is laughing at you because
He knows all
you
these.
start singing this
He,
shit.
he
dude.
knows all these stories.
You
Yeah,
start
yeah.
singing that, you deserve to get your ass
Yeah,
kicked,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
The kid that's singing Denzel last time
I had problems,
is
man.
the craziest.
I had problems.
That is the craziest story.
I guess I wasn't the coolest kid.
Oh, no, man. It was bad.
Oh,
It
man.
was so bad. So what?
It was bad.
Did it feel like you had a shield around you when you sang that song?
Yeah, no, I thought it was like what gave me energy, and like I thought I couldn't get beat if I was singing that for some reason. I don't know how it happened. Yeah, but I don't know how that came about, but that was my
God.
thing. I would just start singing that, and I'd just be like, nobody could beat me. Yeah, it was bad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Bro, I hope my son never sings that. If my son ever was getting in a fight and he starts singing, I'd slap the shit out
I
of
was
my
younger
head.
though. I was younger than even our kids.
Okay.
I was probably like I feel like I was doing this probably anywhere from 7 to 11.
What made
In
you
those-
stop?
I don't know. Well, I started getting into sports and stuff. You know, I started getting into wrestling and stuff like that, and I wasn't just fighting all the time like that anymore. So
Yeah. So, Chris, you had a good wrestling career, right?
I like how you say
Most
good.
no stop.
Yeah.
Most people, right, when they do that, when they have success in sports, a lot of times the parent is pretty present and there. Like you said, your dad and mom were always there.
Yeah.
Was your dad hard on you at all, or was he kind of like laid back and didn't really?
0% hard on me.
Come on, Chris.
Literally never mentioned, hey, you should get up and do a run. You should go to this practice. He was working hard. He was just very supportive. He's the way I want to be as a dad, to be honest. That's what I feel. It worked. It worked for me. He was just super supportive. Never acted like he knew anything about wrestling. Wasn't putting his input. Same thing with my brother with football. He ended up playing in college, and same thing with me with all my sports. But when I got really obsessed with wrestling, I mean, it was all on me. If I wanted to get the extra practice in, if I wanted to go find the best guys around, it was me finding rides and whatever I have to do.
Really?
Yeah. 0% did he ever push me at all.
So my dad, he wasn't the hardest, but he always made sure I went to practice, and he would always kind of like make sure I was doing the right thing. But he was always kind of tough, right? Like he never really like hugged me, and like he wouldn't like kiss me or anything. Did your dad like show you affection?
Yeah, no, he I don't say it. I'm kissing, hugging. Not. It's not like we were cuddling on the couch. Like
No,
me,
like
and me and my kids.
I kiss my son on the head all the time.
Yeah, me
though.
and my kids, we cuddle all the time.
Before
Like,
every wrestling match, I'll give him a kiss. Or a football game, I'll kiss him on the forehead.
Yeah,
My dad didn't do that though.
yeah. I don't know if he was doing that, but he was there. He was a cheerleader. He was just a cheerleader. Yeah, the whole
Really?
time he was just a cheerleader. That's it.
The craziest thing is like I saw my father before he passed with my kids. I could not believe how freely the "I love yous" just kind of flowed.
How he was saying "I love you." So
Yeah, it was so free for him to say
Yeah.
that to the kids.
So my dad
When
has
I
always
never
been-
really-
Yeah,
I never got
could
much
I
of
could relate to that with my father-in-law, my wife's Marivi's dad. He was a Vietnam vet. He was a very hard dude. He was very tough on her and her brother and his kids. But when we started having kids with the grandkids, oh my God, he was like a baby.
The
He was
nicest guy.
Just so nice to them. Just
I had no idea. I was like, I had no idea.
almost
my dad-
like they could almost talk back a little bit, and they're not getting killed. Like they wouldn't even think about talking back.
yeah,
then. And
not in this. In today's world, you can't get the kids like you used to.
no, that's true.